Welcome back to A Better Adventure, where we try to uncover all the mysteries that this Better Minecraft Plus mod pack has to offer. In episode 2 of our journey, it's all about exploring. First thing to do is to check out all the nearby structures. We first started off searching the small ruins out back of the house, but not much there except an underground bastion map, which is kind of confusing because I thought bastions were in the nether. But for now, we'll keep that to the side and check out later. Another structure that's next to our house is a tower. These towers I've seen before. It has a spiral staircase leading all the way to the top with a trapped chest full of TNT. It's a good thing that I know that it's there so I can destroy it. Inside the chest was a bunch of books, some that we knew, some that we don't. Along the top of the stair lines was a bunch of books and item frames that I have no idea what they do. But we'll figure that out later. After getting back home and storing away all the stuff that we found, it's finally time to take a look at this symbol that's on the map located underneath our base. So I started to dig a staircase down towards it. And as we got closer, a boss bar showed up at the top. Wroughtnaut. But we got surrounded by zombies, and we got down to the bottom and started to fight them off when a super blood moon showed up. No way. Super? That's crazy. We can do this another time. There's no way we can do this tonight. So many mobs spawned around our house, so we had to stay inside for the night. All we can do for now is just stare at this beautiful red moon until morning comes. And when morning comes, we make our way back down and we start to dismember and dispatch all of the zombies that are in the area. And we find out where they're coming from. Right next to the area where the Wroughtnaut is located, there happens to be a couple of spawners. We'll have to light those up. I'm feeling a little bit nervous about that thing waking up at any point in time, so I decided to just light them up and deal with the loot and stuff that's underneath them later. After the fight with Wroughtnaut. As the fight goes on, I realize that he doesn't take any damage until he starts to swing forward. Then his back becomes vulnerable, and there's a sword located right there. That's the only time that we can hit him. So we have to keep that strategy, although this is a very small area for us to loop around in, so it is very difficult. Oh no, this green goblin came at the worst time. We lost a casualty of one of our friends that gives us good trades. You must pay for this, Wroughtnaut.
Close your eyes.
Alright, the Wroughtnaut is down. He also dropped some cool items like his helmet and this new hammer axe thing that he's got. That for some reason, when I checked it out in third person, it's making my body go crazy. I don't know what's up with this, but when you slam it on the ground, it creates a shockwave and it has heavy attack. So it is pretty cool nevertheless. So it's not something that I think that we'll be using in the future because we have and will get better weapons than this. Nevertheless, very cool, and I wanted to start a trophy room for all the things that we collect in this venture. So I go to put it in an item frame inside of our house, and when we do that, we get lagged out of the server. I really hope that doesn't happen a lot because we will be collecting a lot of trinkets and a lot of trophies from a lot of different bosses that we'll be getting, and we may need to find a different means of storing and displaying all of our trophies for all the cool fights we'll be in. But anyways, let's move on. And it would make no sense for us not to take advantage and utilize these two spawners that we have that are right next to each other. So, we might as well go ahead and turn this into a spawner to where we can get some XP out of it. After looting all the chests, cleaning up the area, and then getting the spawner ready, we start to light up some of the surrounding caves nearby. And I wasn't doing this while recording because I didn't think much would happen. However, we did get to an area where a poisonous spider spawner was, and out of nowhere came a skeleton running as fast as he possibly can at us. One similar to the one that we had in the first episode, except for this time I had to fight him head on. Because he was so fast from this bow that he gave us, that gave us speed, the fight happened so fast that I couldn't even hit the record button in time. But this bow is what we got from him. After finishing the two spawners to have XP, we start using it. However, these spawners are not normal spawners like vanilla Minecraft. It can spawn enhanced mobs with armor, these minor mobs where these zombies have lights on their helmet, and it even spawns mutant mobs because we get a mutant husk. Great. Didn't know the spawner could do that, but now we do. I killed it a couple of times from shooting it up top, and I got the achievement for it. However, it kept rising from the dead. I kept on fighting it, and it had killed one of our dogs, unfortunately. So, we go back to the surface to to try and read up, because maybe one of the books, the many books that we have, will tell us something about it. We'll go up and I figure out that you need to light it on fire after you kill it, so that way it doesn't resurrect. That's great, considering how it is inside of a spawner and it's on water that's trickling it towards us. I don't really think that that's possible, so we would have to let it out. So as we get ready and I go down to go do so, luckily and fortunately for us, it happened to despawn. But the knowledge for the future is definitely good to know in case we run into any other guys that are like this outside of the spawn area, or if it does happen again from the spawners that we have now, at least we know and we can make it so they don't resurrect next time. After gathering all the XP that we could from the spawner, this is when we take the time to enchant all of our stuff and get the best quality things that we can get on it. However, the enchantment table is not like vanilla and it's a little bit different, but this video isn't really about that. So we'll keep moving on with the adventure after we get some enchantments on our gear. After using all the levels that we have and getting all of our enchantments sorted out, we even got an infinity bow later on that we can combine with this bow that we got from the mini boss that we have that has power 6 on it. So I wanted to explore a little bit further away from the base, and we took the Bastion map and tried to figure out what direction we should head to start looking for that, because we were very curious as to what a Bastion in the overworld would look like underground. So we made a massive boat. You had to make a boat and then make a sail and then combine the boats to make the sail, and it just keeps getting bigger the more you combine boats. Then we start heading in the southwest direction because that's where we are compared to the map. If you didn't know, when you look at a treasure map, it corresponds to where you are. So we are in the upper right hand corner. In order to get closer to it, we want to go south and we want to go to the left. So that is south and west. But we didn't get very far when entering the water because we get attacked by a sea serpent who forces us on land, and it actually looks like a volcanic area. So I'm sitting there shook and kind of contemplating what we should do from here when I notice that there's lava slowly, thank goodness it's slow because it's the overworld, slowly falling on top of our head. And I see it just in time before it starts to cover us over. So we move off to the other mountain and get towards safety. And as the night rolls on, we continue to climb the mountain because I'm curious to see what's at the top. But when we get up there, we see these little pebbling looking guys who are very cute and do not seem very hostile. But we do get attacked by something that we can't see that actually scared the crap out of me to where I threw my weapon and accidentally picked up one of these rock guys and threw him too, and then picked up our weapon back again, only to get attacked by this thing again without even seeing what it is or where it comes from. We just get a slight glimpse of it, and I don't know about you, but I don't want to fight anything that I can't see. So I start climbing down there immediately. Nope, not dealing with that. Not right now. Don't really have the power of the enchantments to be dealing with some invisible entity that is making explosion sounds and could potentially burn us and all the lava that's all over the place. After making our way back down the mountain, we have to try and get our boat back. So I go back and take a glimpse and a look at what's going on with the sea serpent, and it looks like he might be stuck in the boat. I'm not 100% certain if this is even possible. So we dig into the mountain. I start to put some of my stuff away, leave it behind, only take the essentials that we need to take this thing out in case it does get loose when we get closer to it. And we have a bed, so I want to reset my spawn point here just in case something goes wrong. So we start to make our way towards the sea serpent, and I show the hit boxes so that way I can see what the heck we're hitting, because this guy is literally freaking out. And turns out he is actually stuck. So we may have accidentally found the best way to kill a sea serpent. And I don't know if it's just because of the mod pack and this is a larger than normal size boat and that's why the big creature fits into it or not, or if he'll fit into a regular size Minecraft boat. But nevertheless, we'll take the free kill and we'll take the free serpent scales and sea serpent fangs. And now that that's happened, I'm wondering how many sea creatures we can actually get stuck inside the boat. Not too sure, but it could be an easy way for us to gather sea serpent scales. So, as we continue on this journey, I realize our loot is getting pretty full because we did find a decent amount of cool blocks inside of the volcano, like lava rocks and volcanic rocks and things from the twist mob. Saying we're not far from home, so we might as well go back home and drop off the stuff before we go and adventure out again. At this point at home, I kind of remember that we seen some horses next to the tower that we seen at the beginning of this episode, and I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to tame one of those guys so that way we can travel just a little bit faster and get across this map. And even if something dangerous does come along, hopefully the horse would be fast enough to outrun it so that way we can continue on in these adventures and open up this map a little bit more. So on the way over there, we do find a horse, and the very cool thing about this mod pack is it does show you the horse's stats prior to taming it. So I look around for the fastest and the one that jumps the highest, basically the best breed of horse that was in the surrounding area, and we take her and get her and then take her home. So before we go on the adventure with the horse, I wanted to check the surrounding area, even though a lot of the land surrounding us looks like it's covered by water. We get towards the shoreline that's up north to us when we spot it. It's the guy. The guy from episode 1, from the start of this video, who we loaded up in our first world inside the water, that decided to give us our first death of the series before the series even really started, the butterfly Leviathan. And since how we had a decent bow and some decent gear, I figured it was time for us to get our revenge. So we start taking shots at it. However, some don't look like they're landing, so I'm getting a little skeptical on whether we can even use the bow or not. Nevertheless, we continue to shoot at it. Some are hitting, some aren't. It starts to get its way towards us, closer to the shore, so I start to back up, because we know how dangerous this thing is. And hopefully, he just stays out in the water and doesn't come after us like the sea serpent is. He two-shot us without any armor, but now that we have armor, maybe we can take a few more hits. So I continue to shoot it, and as it gets closer to the shore and notices us, I think it's summoning lightning on us because it hits us with 2 lightning strikes. I didn't even know this thing was powerful enough to do that. But nevertheless, as we continue to fight it, it's striking us from the sea, and eventually we take it out. So I go over to look to see what kind of loot that it drops. And nothing. Some Apex meat, which is great because the stats on the hunger is fantastic. And since how we were shooting it with a flame bow, it's already cooked, but nothing else. And something that strong you think should drop some sort of thing. I don't know if it was because it's a percentage and we just got unlucky and maybe need to kill it with some sort of looting sword. I'm not too sure. But as far as I'm aware, this thing is way too strong and not worth the fight without any rewards. So we'll be ignoring these guys and just running from them for this series because they're not even worth killing. So after the disappointment of getting nothing after killing it, don't get me wrong, revenge is great. Everybody loves a little bit of revenge. We head back home to sort all out our stuff. What better way to end this episode than on a blood moon, right? Well, that's gonna be it. That's all the time we have. We really got bombarded by a bunch of different things. We had the Wroughtnaut, the sea serpent, the butterfly labyrinth, the Husk down in our spawner. Just so many things that we had to fight. And honestly, we didn't even get that far away from home. It's crazy. There's so many dangerous things around in this mob, and there's so many adventures to be had. Not to mention, we worked on the interior a little bit. This is not really a building series, but this is what we're working with so far. We got the kitchen, we got our little trophy area, which I plan on doing that up top. We're gonna make this whole area up top all of our trophies and stuff that we get from the bosses. This is just temporary down here. We got plenty of storage on this side and this side, our enchantment table. We're working on that, but that is extremely complicated and not really what this series is about. This is all about adventuring. So if you want to learn more about that, let me know in the comments down below. I could explain what I've learned in separate videos. If you like the builds too, I mean, we can go over that as well. You just gotta let me know. But for now, this is a better adventure, and we're gonna keep doing it better and better and better. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, like, all that stuff, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace. Wish I was hungry so I could eat this hamburger we made. Bye. Oh, and if you want to see how I got these red shiny shoes of ours, you'll have to stay tuned to the next episode, because that's in the next one. Bye.